some amazing panelists, some amazing thought leaders in Retail AI that are going to come up and share their experiences with you. However, I don't know my audience, and I would really like them to understand where you are in your AI journey. So we're going to do a show of hands that you are in one of 4 different categories, and please don't pick all the categories, just pick one category. But I assume a lot of you that are in this session are retailers, or you call on retailers, and so you know quite a bit about that environment. But I don't know where you are in your journey. So let's start with a retailer that is, you're here, I commend you to be here because you're learning about AI, right? And maybe you haven't done a POC, which stands for proof of concept yet, but you're here to learn and you're actively interested in AI. Is there anybody that falls in that category in the room? All right. Oh, I see a couple of hands. The second category would be you've done a proof of concept, meaning you've tried an AI use case, you've tried to deploy that, and maybe it was successful, maybe not, but you've already kind of dipped your toe in the pool of AI. So who's started? Okay, there's a few of you that have started. Wow, then we must have some kind of experts in here. How many of you are already deploying multiple use cases of AI, such as NLP or computer vision or voice AI or some kind of large language model? Do we have some experts in there? And I always have to bring up that last category. Are there any of you who feel like, you know, this is still a hype cycle, and maybe it should be on the future product roadmap, and maybe next year we won't be talking about AI? All right. So I understand. Good. There's none of you in that category, but you know, it was about 6 years ago that I was in AI. I was so excited about AI, and nobody was talking about it, and I actually got fired because I talked too much about AI. They said that was the future. So I had to ask that question of you. So, but what's interesting, let's go back to fall of 2022, and that is when we had what is referred to as the iPhone moment with AI. And what that means is that was when, is there anybody in here from Deloitte? I was at the Deloitte AI Forum, and OpenAI introduced ChatGPT as well as DALL-E. And it's called the iPhone moment because it was at that moment that you kind of realized, similar to a smartphone, that AI was going to become a seamless and integral part of your lives. Right? Do you remember when smartphones first came out and you thought, why do I need this? You know, like, why do I need to check my email 24/7? Why do I need this in the palm of my hand? My kids thought, Mom, that's so extra. And now I bet there's not a single person in this room that doesn't have one. So it's become a seamless and integral part of your lives. How many people listened to Jensen Huang's keynote, right? So he coined a new phrase, and what was that? The ChatGPT moment. Same philosophy, right? That is going to become a seamless and integral part of our lives. But here's the problem with that. There's a gap that exists, right? A lot of you probably are C-levels or call on C-suites. And here's the issue. When you do that, it's usually men that are between 50 to 60 years old, the majority, and they didn't study this in college, right? And they're actually a little bit perplexed because they don't understand, you know, what are the typical use cases for AI? The terminology, I mean, honestly, machine learning, it's not even intuitive. Some of the words and the terms are very confusing. They don't know who to partner with. Like, even if they want to start an AI, who do they call, right? How do you get started in AI? And they're worried about that transformational power that they hear about, the hype about AI. Is that really true, or am I going to be embarrassed, you know, if it doesn't actually have the value that I anticipate it's supposed to have? But I'll let you in on a secret, and I know some of you also call on C-suites and help them with AI. It's completely normal. We're still in this phase where most people don't understand it, and that's okay, right? And that's why I wanted to gauge our audience here. These are true thought leader experts in the retail technology sector. So they're going to be coming up, and where they're going to share their experiences with you. But I just want to commend you to be here learning about this, because that's the first step, right? You got to get started, because this is a very transformational technology that is going to help your family, your friends, your colleagues, and definitely you for the rest of your life. All right, so I'm super excited and honored to be able to welcome these folks to the stage. Our first panelist is Adam Dumey. He is the Global Vice President of Retail for Worldwide Technology. You could welcome Adam. And we have Tom Garrity, and he is the Vice President of Digital Innovation for Universal Destinations and Experiences. We have Stephanie Horbacheski. She is the CEO and founder of Vadi, which is a Gen AI software company. We also have Mattia Milio. He is the Director of North America Business Development for Alibaba.com. And rounding out our panel, we have Noah Zamansky, who is the Vice President of Client Experiences for Stitch Fix. All right, thanks for welcoming them. All right, so it's a panel about retail, so I know your first burning question is, are they really experts? And if so, they should have had a retail job when they were like 15 or 16, right? So let's find out what their first retail job was, and then we'll fast forward and find out what they're currently doing. All right, who's gonna start? You wanna start for me, Noah?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Noah Zamansky. My first job in retail was actually with starting at a retailer that sold sporting goods in high school. And I started out early on, but it really taught me the fundamentals of knowing your customer, inventory management, and sales. And so today, fast forward many years forward, I work for Stitch Fix. And for those of you who don't know what Stitch Fix is, we are a styling service that helps clients find styles they love that fit great and make them feel great. It's powered by the combination of AI and human stylists. We have thousands of expert human stylists, so talk about humans in the loop. And I lead the client experience team, which is a group of experts across product, engineering, technology, AI, design, and we are all passionate about delivering personalized experience for our clients and giving our stylists the tools to do so. And I'm really excited and grateful to be here, Andy, so thank you, everyone.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Horbacheski. I'm the founder and CEO of Vadi. My first retail job when I was in business school, we had to get a sales job, so I walked into J. McLaughlin on Charles Street and asked for a job, and they gave me one. It taught me invaluable lessons about positioning products to customers, and I've used it in all of my career. So you're right, Andy, I do think it starts early. We build multimodal LLM solutions for retail companies like Nike and Grubhub. They use these models to enhance their understanding of products. So think, what activity is this a great blazer for a conference in Vegas, or what's the perfect trail running shoe if you're going to Yosemite? And you can take that understanding, and I'll tell you about a couple use cases today where we're seeing them transform customer experience in search and discovery and personalization.
Hi, I'm Tom Garrity with Universal Destinations and Experiences. That's Universal Parks in Orlando, Hollywood, Singapore, Osaka, Beijing. My first retail job was when I was 14 or 15, and I was at a Radio Shack, and it has nothing to do with going out of business that I was there then. I also worked at Silo Audio, again, not my fault, but I helped people buy audio systems. And I guess that was a very, very long view into why I would spend so many years coming to CES. And now I'm head of digital innovation for Universal Destinations and Resorts. And we're looking at these experiences of the future, these technologies of the future, AR, AI, and how do we pull them and try and commercialize them faster than our competitors.
Hey everyone, Adam Dumey. My first retail job was when I was 17 years old. I was a grocer. So the task of unloading, the task of being a cashier, running a till, I checked all those boxes. And 15 years later, I then joined Worldwide Technology as the Global Vice President of Retail. So really bringing the full force and strength of our organization from a consulting perspective and from a technical implementation. That's the value, and that's my remit in life.
Hi everyone, I'm Mattia. I'm the business director for Alibaba.com. I'm Italian, so everything that is related to beauty and fashion is in my DNA. My first job was for the king of fashion, Giorgio Armani, down under in Australia, in Sydney. It was 2000 during the Olympics game. So I had the opportunity to meet a lot of global consumers that were attending the Olympics game. And there started my passion for everything that is related with data, retail, and innovation. Today, in Alibaba.com, my team is in charge of creating an ecosystem of partners, developing AI API integrations with SaaS platform, with D2C storefront builders, and so on.
Wow, excellent background for this crew. If we were stuck on an island, I think I got everything I need here. So I'm going to start with you, Mattia. Is everybody familiar with Alibaba? Raise your hand if, okay. Great. He's with Alibaba.com. Did you realize that is the largest B2B e-commerce site in the world? The world. So I want you to tell us a little bit about that journey, the AI journey at Alibaba, and maybe expand on some of the use cases that you have leveraged to help reduce customer friction, streamline operations, and so forth.
So you raise your hands, and probably you have no idea what Alibaba.com is today. I just met a retailer at the Venetian, and he asked me, how can I use Alibaba.com, and how can I leverage your AI tools? And I explained him that today, Alibaba.com is a global platform. We have 50 million buyers from 200 countries and regions. US is #1. But we are not just a platform, e-commerce platform to source products from Asia, cheap products from Asia. Today, Alibaba.com has more than 200,000 sellers from 140 countries and regions, including my own country, Italy. You can find Italian brands, French brands, German brands, and US brands in Alibaba.com. We started our AI journey almost 2 years ago. We embedded a solution that is called Smart Assistant that is supporting our seller to post products and create new product images, CEO product description. They posted more than 7 million products, and we had a higher conversion rate, a 52 higher conversion rates. Our retailers, 18% of our buyers are retailers, are using Smart Assistant to communicate in a smarter way with our suppliers across the globe. And we saw a 26% increase of conversion rate among the 20 million inquiries that this buyer posted. And this is not all. I will unveil also some new AI tools later on.
Fascinating. I'm going to move on to Stitch Fix. Does anybody have a membership to Stitch Fix where you get the box and yeah?
I love how you're all sheepishly raising. We can see you.
Those are Stitch Fix shoes. Those are Stitch Fix shirt, I can tell.
But you know, what's unique about Stitch Fix is they are truly at the forefront of personalized and data-driven customer experience. And I'm curious, Noah, I mean, what has the journey been like at Stitch Fix with AI? Is that like new to your platform, and what kind of solutions are you leveraging so that you have such a personal, obviously I like red, right? So like, how do you leverage AI to personalize the customer experience and streamline your operations?
Yeah, first let me tell you a little story. The reason I am at Stitch Fix is actually I was a client at first, and early in the days when I was working at eBay, they were on my radar as leaders in AI and styling. And the magic that I felt when I got that first box, there was a stylist looking out for me, and everything I told Stitch Fix was spot on, and all the clothes that I actually unpacked from the first fix were amazing, and I kept everything out of that first box. And so when the opportunity came to join Stitch Fix, I jumped at it. And AI is really at the core of everything that we do, and it's been part of our journey from day one. And from essentially our personalization recommendations, from the tools that we give our stylists, to how we plan our inventory, it's all in service of delivering great client outcomes and combining AI with our expert stylists. And so a couple of exciting launches recently. We launched a thing called the Style File. So if you haven't already, download the Stitch Fix app, go through the onboarding flow, and we'll give you a personalized style profile that explains to you your style. I'm an action sport, and so that helps me understand that I like rugged and active wear and coastal styles. And our clients really love that. They love this is the first time where we're really getting our clients and putting the AI out in front of our clients in a way that helps educate them about their style. And secondly, another example is we've been using it for AI-informed inventory planning, and that's helping us make smarter buys. And so as we think about how this is evolving and where we're investing, there's a couple areas that we're really, really interested in. First is multimodal. When you think about text coming together with photos and inspirational images, that's really going to be just a wonderful palette for discussion between our stylists and our clients, and AI is going to power that. Same thing with how we think about inventory management and planning. That is going to be a transformational piece of our strategy. And client engagement, dynamic client engagement. So what I mean there is getting to really personalized offers in real time, styling nudges in real time, and providing clients with new services such as themes that resonate with thematic and cultural moments. And so that's where we really see it, and it's an exciting journey that we're getting started on and really seeing to see some momentum.
That's a great backstory. We're going to pivot now to Tom from Universal. And Tom, unlike Mattia and Noah in the e-commerce space, the majority of your customer interactions are physical, in the physical retail space. And I'd love for you to share with our audience some of the use cases at Universal from the moment that the guests arrive at the park or the hotel and until they get off the ride, right? Because you're really creating magical, unforgettable moments for your guests, and AI is a big part of that.
It is. A resort is an incredibly complex thing. Specific to retail, we're implementing AI for traffic flows, using machine vision to see how people are moving through the gift shops. We have a whole team of industrial engineers that help us. We want to slow people down enough that they can consider and buy the perfect souvenir from that ride they just came off. But we also want to make sure that the people that want to get through and get onto the next attraction can flow. So we have a whole set of physical designers, industrial engineers, and AI experts that are helping us instrument that. We're always trying to find the perfect way to help a guest find the product they want that represents their experience. Across the resort, we're using facial recognition, like maybe at some international and local, national airports. Now we have facial recognition that ties to your ticket that gets you into the resort. We have dozens and dozens of use cases in making the attraction experience better, as well as managing wait times. So we're looking at the lines, and we're not personally identifying anybody, but we're identifying somebody that looks like this or looks like this, and then we see how long did it take them to enter an attraction, leave the attraction, do the math on what we can post for a wait time. People are very, very interested in if it's an hour for that ride or 30 minutes for that ride, which one do I want to go on next? So we have an AI board that sits across the top of destinations and experiences and starts all these different POCs for use cases for retail, F&B, hotels, attractions, everything in the customer lifecycle.
And if I can jump in, I think one of the things I love about both those use cases, it's all experience oriented, right? You heard nothing from both of them talking about driving top line, right? We're at a point now in artificial intelligence where the value and the mission is about experiences. And the level of attention in Universal, I had the pleasure of going there last winter with my children, thanks to Tom and his team. And the level of attention that they pay and the outcome and the memories, it is pretty special. And so that kind of passion infusing it, I know I appreciate it.
Incredible experiences will lead to revenue, but if you're
Correct.
chasing revenue, you may not get
That's
an
right.
incredible experience.
That's right.
It's an excellent point. So, and we're going to pivot right over to you, Adam, because Worldwide Technology, I don't know how many folks have heard of them, but they are a technology partner, consulting, and integrator. And they have an excellent reputation in helping enterprise retailers, all kinds of enterprise companies, to navigate the complexities of AI. Some of the challenges I talked about before they took the stage, right? So, Adam, it would really be helpful, I think, to our audience to explain how it is you go about helping an enterprise retailer.
Yeah.
And maybe why would a company choose to work with Worldwide Technology versus just go it on their own?
Yeah, sure. So Worldwide Technology is a $22 billion technology and consulting firm. So just like you would expect any of these consulting firms, from a retail perspective, we have deep industry expertise, former practitioners, yada, yada, yada. But where we differ is in three regards. The first is perspective. So we cover a broad spectrum of customers. So 90% of the Fortune 100, super active in middle market, very healthy in small and medium business, and a lot of startups that we begin with. So as you think about that perspective to understand those patterns and playbooks of why AI was successful, why it wasn't successful from a business and a technology perspective, those are the lessons learned that we bring that are a bit broader in terms of aperture than others in the market. The second is our heritage, which is about ecosystem. And so several of you raised your hand with regard to the Jensen speech on Monday. We've been NVIDIA's Partner of the Year for 3 years. Jensen came to our offsite in November and spent 3 hours with us, alluding to many of the things that were discussed. And so it's a very deep partnership we have with NVIDIA. But we also have the same for other technology leaders, Dell, Intel, Cisco, Palo Alto, et cetera. So what does that mean for retailers? It means that we have the ability to pressure test a strategy. Right, for $1 million, you can go get a 100-page PowerPoint and a great strategy, but to implement it is very challenging. And so based on our expertise from a technology lens, we can get down to the chip level all the way to the cloud. And it's really relevant because research has shown just as recent as 3 weeks ago that 75% of executives don't believe they have the appropriate infrastructure to scale artificial intelligence. So that's obviously a consideration that I think differentiates us. The third element has to do with our approach to artificial intelligence. And so we believe that there is science to the art. And so we've invested $1 billion in what we call an AI proving ground. So it's a data center that has physical infrastructure from all the partners I mentioned, in addition to dozens of others. So retailers can come to us before they've made any purchase of AI equipment, and they can test that equipment in our site. So if you're debating between a GPU for NVIDIA or Intel or Dell or IBM, if you're thinking about different edge devices, the real magic is how that works in your environment, the integration challenges, security. So we give retailers the ability to take our infrastructure ability and then leverage that and go to their board and provide documentation about what the cost is going to be, the evaluation decision tree that they implemented, the security position, any integration challenges, to really minimize the reduction of an AI deployment. So when you combine all three of these things, and in addition to the technical acumen and the retail domain expertise, we think it's different, and we're seeing a large acceleration in terms of the engagements we have in the retail space.
Yeah, that's pretty fascinating that you bring that whole ecosystem together, because if I'm a retailer, I don't necessarily know NVIDIA. I don't necessarily know where I'm going to get a server. I don't know, and every software company seems to put AI after their name now, right? So how do you know which ones are legit? So that brings me to a software company. So you've heard from 3 different retailers now. Then you've heard from the consultant technology integrator that brings it all together. But when you think about AI, what is really the secret sauce? It's really not a box. It's not the cloud. It's not the GPU even, although Jensen might argue with us. It's truly the software that makes AI happen. So now we're going to talk to a CEO and founder of a Gen AI software company. So Stephanie, Voti is focused on transforming how retailers understand and optimize their product data. Can you tell us some of the key challenges Voti helps retailers solve, particularly in improving how products are matched with customer needs across various channels?
Yes, enter the startup. At our core, we are focused on taking raw product data and transforming it into actionable insights, helping retailers improve experiences, to your point. So when we have seen that when you can get relevant product information in front of a customer sooner, what matters most to them. Example, if someone that has a family is looking for flooring at Lowe's, they're interested in it being scratch-proof and formaldehyde-free. If it's a builder looking for flooring, they want to know that it comes in a large quantity and that it is easy to install. And when you can get that information in front of a customer faster, we have seen 2 to 5x conversion rates. You are all familiar with what this kind of experience is. It's happening to you on Netflix. We all see a different Seinfeld character based on what we're interested in. We could see the same carousel of content, but they title it differently. Maybe I really love sibling stories and you love actions. So we're trying to bring some of that personalized experience and real deeper understanding into their worlds.
It is fascinating. That's why I work there. All right, so this is going to go out to the 3 retailers that are on stage, Noah, Tom, and Mattia. So for any retailers that are out there and they're just starting, because you saw there's a few of them that are just starting their AI journey, and they're looking for low-hanging fruit use cases, like ones that they know are going to have valuable, measurable ROI, and that aren't like super complex to deploy. I mean, what are some of the use cases you would suggest as a starting point for them?
Sure. Well, as you said, I think the most important thing is really tying the ROI to a compelling and critical business problem and customer problem. And so the way we've approached this is we've gone after two areas. First is our personalization, investing in our recommendations. And for us, that's allowed us to reach a deeper level of connection with our clients. And we measure that ROI through retention and through increased conversion and keep rate, as well as many other measures. And for any retailer, I think that's a great place to start because that will pay dividends. The second part for us is really about using AI for demand planning and inventory planning. And so for us, our clients, it's so important to get the freshness and variety of styles and where the market is heading, where the styles are heading. And so part of our strategy is using AI and tools to deliver the right item to the right client at the right time. And it's so critical to maintain that. And so our tools help us do that. And we also engage with our vendors. Some of us were talking before, and I love this quote, Stephanie, I think it might have been you, that this is a team sport, and AI is really a team sport. And so working with our vendors and providing them with a vendor portal, they can access the insights around trends that will help them with their development cycles as well. So I think these are really the key areas for us, is finding those important client problems and going after them.
Great insight. What about you, Mattia?
Well, I think that sourcing today is very complex. That's why in Alibaba.com we want to make it simple as possible and smart for any retailer to source products from different countries and regions, but also to understand which products to buy and where to buy. What kind of logistic provider to use, what kind of certification are needed. That's why last November we launched a new platform that is called Axio.com. Axio means someone in Latin, bring it to me, like we were saying before with Tom. What is Axio? Axio has already more than 500,000 users, 60,000 users, retailers across the globe used Axio between the Double 11 and the Black Friday. Axio is the next generation of product sourcing. It is a B2B search engine. We have already indexed more than 80% of B2B data. And what's exciting about Axio is that the data, they do not come only from our 25 years experience in B2B e-commerce, but we are leveraging any public available data. So any retailer can find products from any B2B platform across the globe. We are partnering with the leading B2B platforms that are also our competitors. Imagine, I don't know if you're familiar in Korea with EC21, with Newegg in consumer electronics, here in the US with Build Direct. So AI is also revolutionizing how we are partnering, how we are creating our ecosystem of partners. We are now indexes, as I said, 80% of the data, while traditional search engine were indexing only the 5%. And Axio is also Axio Page, so any retailer can find product analytics, consumer behaviors, price range in different markets at the fingertip in real time. Also is a super comparison tool, so you will find, as I mentioned, products from different platforms, but also you will be able to find the insights, for example, in beauty, all the formulation certifications that are needed, and is a B2B e-commerce platforms because it uses what we call NLP, so natural language processing, and we have listed more than 200 million trade-specific parameters. among 7,600 categories. So any retailer now can source product in a more simple, smart, and scalable way.
Great. What about you, Tom? What kind of use cases would you recommend for other retailers?
Besides hundreds of physical stores and the blocking and tackling of traffic and wait times and times at registers and trying to decide how much floor space should be dedicated to cash wrap and how much should you get more product out, we're also a multi-billion-dollar online retailer, except that's the very complex issue of configuring a vacation package that works for your family. Hotels, transportation, tickets, express passes, all those things that you have to put in order to find. So we have a system where the teams have been A/B testing AI-generated packages versus conventional generated packages to see which are performing better, trying to help leadership understand that AI is doing a great job objectively on the numbers. So I think while AI is a great solution, if you can A/B test it against what your leadership understands today, whether those are great numbers or not great numbers, you have to say this is proving the case that this is generating a package that has a higher uptake by a family of 4 from the Northeast or whatever those things are. So be ready to test it against the KPIs you have now.
Excellent insight, guys. Thank you. So we all know what the current buzz is, and that is generative AI. So what I tend to see is that C-levels, they come to me and they're not even leveraging any type of AI, but of course they're immediately going for the Gen AI. And is that really what they need? Or maybe it's simply IoT or computer vision or data analytics. So my next question for all of you is, with this current buzz on Gen AI, do you think retailers should really be prioritizing that and focusing on it? Or should they explore like a broader range of AI technologies? And what is driving so much of this hype and focus on that one technology? We're going to start with Stephanie.
ROI. The ROI is what's driving the hype. It's real, right? And if you can find the right use case, it's really meaningful, and we have seen that. So I think the hype is coming from what the potential is. I would suggest that you start small, that you pick an area that you have data readily available. That's a really big piece of this. That you build alignment across product, data science, and business to be successful. And what we have found the most successful, as Andy knows, is focusing on delivering revenue. We guarantee you'll see an increase in revenue in 6 weeks, and our pilots are all focused 100% on that.
Well, I'm going to ask you a follow-up question that you weren't expecting, but what about companies that just have a whole team and they could just build the models themselves or wrap it around a ChatGPT? Why would they need Voti?
Oh, like a lob ball question. Okay. Yeah, so one thing, what differentiates us, first there's, building a data set that we've been building for 3 years in order to do this fine tuning. But then you need to distill the models. If Etsy, where my team comes from, were to use ChatGPT, it would take 8 months every time they reindex their data. That's not a realistic amount of time for what they're doing. And the ML orchestration of this. So in our case, it's not just fine-tuning a model to give you an answer. These are complex model systems. So, in Nike's case, they do not sponsor the Olympics. You cannot generate any data related to anything Olympic athletes, they can't use it. So you need a model system that ensures that you didn't generate data associated with the Olympics, for example. And so I would say where we are seeing brands run into the most frustration and struggles deploying Gen AI is in that ML orchestration phase.
And I think to your question, in addition to the revenue piece, I've been in artificial intelligence 11 years, cloud early autonomous retail. I've never seen this amount of pressure from top down on a technology in my entire career. And so I think there's also an element of missing out, right? What is Tom doing? I need to keep up with him. And I think it's those companies that exert some maturity, some balance, and also some perspective to identify it's not just a generative AI thing, or it's not even an AI tool. Forget the AI part. It's the appropriate technology for that particular problem. And in implementing that technology, you build a certain amount of muscle in terms of governance, in terms of execution and maturity. The companies that kind of fight within those constraints and those considerations, those are the ones that do well. Those that chase a certain outcome prematurely, they struggle. And then you have this kind of, again, first impressions are really difficult to recoup. So you have this, this tension that you have to build around and against. Your social currency gets diminished if you mishandle that first implementation. And so our advice from Worldwide Technology is be very mindful and deliberate and purposeful about the technology that's enabling your strategy.
Tom or Noah? Anybody else have any comments on Gen AI?
We're looking at it more on the attraction space than on the retail or any kind of online space, and how could we create custom experiences for individual guests, whether that's on a big ride that's doing thousands of people an hour or an online gaming experience or something. We're not yet implementing it in anything like a retail experience.
My advice is start now. In Alibaba, we are seeing a rise of the use of AI, of adopting AI from companies, especially from developing countries and least developed countries. I just said Alibaba, the goal is to democratize AI technology with an open source. So what we are seeing right now, especially in countries like Pakistan, Bangladesh, in African countries, they're adopting AI in a faster and smarter way in comparison to European companies and US companies.
Our view is, the hype is real, and with generative AI, it's an exciting and compelling technology, but it's important to take a balanced approach. And I'll give you an example. With generative AI, we have a product called Note Assist, and that leverages LLMs and helps stylists create notes that they send to their clients with every single fix. And so that's helped them drive deeper connections with their clients and do their jobs in a lot easier way. But generative AI is not for every single approach, and so you really need to balance what is the right tool for what is the right application. And so that's how we're approaching it.
Smart. This is some great feedback, guys. So, all right, now you're a retailer and you've learned about Gen AI, you've heard about all the other types of AI, and you're ready to take that first step, all right? What advice are you each going to give to those type of retailers who are just starting to dip their toe in the AI pool? How should they get started, and what steps can they take to identify the right opportunities? Who wants to start that one, Adam?
I can start. So to give you context in my response, at Worldwide, we've infused artificial intelligence into dozens of workflows that we use throughout our 10,000 person organization. We build products that are now generating hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue. So I give that to context to provide kind of perspective. The lessons that we learned are kind of twofold. One, organizational alignment and establishing a collective vision is the first step you should take. It should not be a technology move. This should be rallying both your data team, your technical team, your business team, and anyone else in the middle to come together for a shared purpose. The second, and again, I go back to the data, has to do with technical debt. So if you think of your starting point in artificial intelligence, you want to make sure that you have a very long runway with very little obstacles in between you and your successful outcome. And what research has shown is about 6 out of 10 CEOs believe that technical debt today is either an obstacle or a complete roadblock to AI scaling. So you want to clear your technical debt to the extent as possible. You want to also, as you think about forward development, you want to think about adopting standards and practice that minimize accumulation of future debt. So when you are really ready to jump in artificial intelligence, you don't have any baggage with you. Again, all of that is a planning exercise. It's a team sport. As Stephanie mentioned, it doesn't require technical acumen, but it does require coordination and collectivism.
What about the rest of you? What advice do you have for those retailers starting in AI?
Mine is absolutely not technical. It's tell a story of what you want your customers or guests or whatever to feel. And that could be a science fiction story, that could be storyboards, that could be a graphic art, it could be PowerPoint. Get a concept artist and a writer and say what you want to happen, and then figure out how AI can help you jump over all the steps. Adam's tech debt, and everybody says, I can't get from here to there, and I don't want to go through step 1, 2, 3. I want to go from step 1 to 10.
That's right.
So we tell this amazing story, and then I just try to eliminate steps. And not that I'm the best creative partner for technical people sometimes, but the idea is you want to get so much further faster, and only AI tools are going to make that possible. But you have to tell such a compelling story that leadership says, I want that, and I'll help with these organizations sweep that other stuff out of your way.
Yeah, that vision's so important. What about the rest of you? Any other advice?
Yeah, one of the things that has really helped us is really building a culture of curiosity and experimentation. And one of the ways we've done this in the organization is supporting hack weeks and hackathons. And so that's really given our teams the space to form Scrum teams, get together, experiment with the technology, and bring real live prototypes to life, get familiar with the technology. And some of these are actually coming to life right now. There's one product which is our iOS-based Style Shuffle. Some of you who've used Stitch Fix before know the thumbs up, thumbs down rating, where we show different styles and outfits. And that's how we continually learn from our clients. What is your style? What is your style profile? How's your style preferences evolving? And so the team thought up of a way to just create a widget for that lives right on someone's iOS home screen. And that came out of our Hack Week, and there's other advancements coming. And so I can't stress enough how important for us as a team it was to kind of come together and really give ourselves the space to experiment with that technology and learn together.
My advice is very simple: open mind and open approach. As I mentioned, we are partnering with our competitors because if you stay in your silo, AI is revolutionizing the way you're doing business. So think about partnership. You need to have data from other platforms. So integration and partnership with an open approach, I think that is the advice that I want to give.
What about you, Stephanie? How do you help retailers get
I mean,
started?
I'm going to give you a startup answer. Call me. We'll have you live in 6 weeks in 2 sprints, right? And a plug for Alibaba. They have contributed some of the most impactful models, Gwen, to the open source community. They are phenomenal. And if you are a builder in this room, I highly suggest that you get familiar.
This has been some excellent insight, but my favorite question is, to wrap up our discussion, is always a little bit of prognostication. So I'm going to ask each of you to look ahead and share your perspective on where does AI take us next? What do you see as the most exciting and transformational possibilities with AI in retail? Who wants to start that one?
I can jump in. So we really see it as moving from curiosity to having a lot of impact for our clients and our customers, and specifically generative AI. We're really excited about the possibilities around visualization of style and how that can push the conversations with our clients and stylists. We're extremely excited about the power of LLMs having deeper impact with our customer service teams and the business bottom line. And then finally, we think that there's going to be a lot that generative AI is really going to help contextualize and personalize the shopping discovery journey that we haven't even seen yet. So that's what we're really excited about.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, at a simple level, I think you're going to be able to find exactly what you're looking for, right? That high intent tail and torso query where you know exactly what you want, a washer dryer that has a steam function feature and all of these things, and you're going to be able to find it. And that's going to really, right now, that is not the case. I think that will really transform how you feel about shopping online.
Yeah, right? Like, I remember when the Barbie movie came out, I really wanted like a Barbie pink like sundress and stuff like that, but the search bar never understood Barbie pink, right? So I'm so glad you're changing that for my fashion quest. Next.
I hope that my personal AI interacts with other AIs. I would like, with privacy, for my AI to communicate to Stitch Fix that what it's sending to me doesn't recognize that I've lost 15 pounds and I'm down 2 sizes on my jeans. And it's not something that I tacitly said to my stylist, but it's something that between the hooks between the two systems, my private AI communicated that's not the right offer, that's not the right offer. So I'm waiting for all of these big AI systems that are representing commercial entities or the internet AI that understands the languages, interacts with mine, and mine is asking for specific offers on my health data, my location data, my vacation data, my what I just read data, and then allows retailers to make better offers to me that I never had to share anything overtly personal with them.
Yeah, similar to Tom and Stephanie, I think within the next 2 to 4 years, we're going to achieve a level of personalization that's going to require us to completely redefine the North Star for that, not only in terms of how it's delivered, but how it's communicated, how we are immersed in that experience or product through a different medium that we haven't even imagined yet. The technology's there, the data's there, the excitement from the retailers, and again, we're going to be in a position in 2 to 4 years where we can see one-to-one personalization visualized across several mediums in a way that we couldn't have imagined 2 years ago, 12 months ago.
Just 3 words: predictive analytics, automated negotiations, and real-time pricing, especially for retailers.
Great advice, guys. So you guys invested your time to learn from these retailers, and I'll give you one piece of advice. If you're thinking about deploying AI, this is the group you need. And at CES, and any conference you go to learn, make sure you come up to them afterwards, connect with them on LinkedIn, maybe get a picture with them, get their phone number, because they're your partners. Nobody's getting paid to be up here, and they want to work with you. They want to help you. So I would encourage you. We're not going to do Q&A because there's food and beverages coming in, and I don't want to stand between that. But here's your opportunity. Feel free to come up afterwards and connect with those folks. So we're going to do that. We're going to exit the stage. We're first going to do a panel photo. I hear you saying stay. And then I'm also going to ask anyone that's a woman in AI, after we exit the stage, if you could come up, and we're going to get a picture of female in technology. All right, thank you for being here. And a big heartfelt thanks to my amazing panelists. You're awesome.
You all did amazing.